right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Um, we're live today from our Westminster South Asia fan page. I am Garima Sharma. I'm the regional advisor for South Asia at University of Westminster. I'm based out of India. Today, we got our three eminent guests with us who are going to help you settle down with your queries regarding Westminster and your going forward journey with Westminster, because they have sailed through it and they're sailing through it. So definitely you're going to get a lot of insights about Westminster and London today. On to Shrishti Shah, who's our current student at the undergrad current student at Westminster Business School, again, Central London, Marylebone campus. She's studying international business with us and will be graduating next year. I'm very happy to invite Shrishti today on the panel because she's been the one who's been helping students with a lot of recruitment related queries, a lot of student related issues about London, Westminster. So through her very popular vlogs, Shrishti has actually helped a lot of students and also gave us a good glimpse on the campus life, on the student life. Not really festivals, but everything to do with, being in London, studying in London, being around there. So thank you, Shruti, for taking out time for this session. And also through your blogs, we're actually the part of your journey. So we really, really enjoy them. So thanks a lot.
So hi, guys. My name is Sharat Nair. I'm from India, from the south part. I'm from Kerala. And I have been working as a business analyst for quite a long time. It's almost, I have around 9 years of experience. So I did my undergrad in computer science engineering, and then I started working for UBS. I worked with SocGen and I worked with Fidelity. So and across the world. So I worked in London, Singapore, and France. And plus, having a master's is really beneficial for your career. So I mean, if you haven't thought about it, in terms of support, is the University of Westminster side. It was really good and stuff, so we can talk about it later. So this is just about me. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. We wanted to know a little bit from how it actually happened to you and from India to London, and now you're beginning your career in London. So that was something we wanted to know. Thank you for that, sir. Shrishti, how is it as an undergrad student in a place like London, first time away from home, I guess, with new set of friends? So give us some insights on life in London, life at accommodation, life at uni.
So the thing is that one thing I learned really well when I went to London is that never lose hopes, because I am the first person and the first female in my family to go in the university, and that too abroad. It was very difficult for me to just like leave my home and completely move to a new city at the age of 18, because I left my home when I was 18. So completely new country, new friends, no connection with the family, because as soon as you land there, there's no Wi-Fi connection at the home because you have to sort everything by yourself. So I wasn't a part of accommodation because I felt that the accommodations that they provide are really small as compared to what you pay when you rent an apartment in London. So as an undergraduate student, it's been really, really nice so far, because just like what Sharat said, that in the midnight, even if you like message Garima or Victoria, the very next morning, what you hear from them is like a positive response. Being an undergraduate student at Westminster is more than what I felt. Like I felt that it should be a good average university, and I didn't feel that they'll do so much, because doing so much as in their support means a lot. Whenever you email something to them, they try responding you within the next 2 to 3 hours, and they don't make you wait. The teachers support is amazing because the teachers are available 24/7, and like whenever they're arranging camps, there are social networking societies and groups where you can always participate and make yourself feel better, that you're not alone in this and you're gonna fight all together. And that's how the things work.
I remember when you said that your professor's turnaround time was 3 hours, rather yours was higher. I can never forget that. Great. Thank you so much, Shrishti. I think, again, a question for you, because you come from a finance background. You've been a
Yeah.
student studying finance at
Mm.
Westminster. Any highlight of the course you would like to talk about, which actually kind of helps you in your work life these days? Because there are a lot of finance students looking at London as a destination,
Mm.
because of being a financial hub.
Yeah.
So anything you would like to highlight with the course have actually helped you?
Yeah.
I like, you sail through difficult interviews and all of that. Talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one of the things is like, I all my careers, like it's 9 years, I worked in investment banking. Yeah, so it's like all these investment banking derivatives and financial performance and asset management, all these things, pure investment banking core area. So this course, which I studied, my MSc Finance Banking, so it's tailored for investment banking and retail banking and insurance, all these all these domains. So right now I'm working with Vanquist Bank, which is like more like credit cards and loans and basically it's personal banking and stuff. So the other thing I would say is coursework and assignments and stuff. I hated it. I'm being very honest with you guys. I really hated it because it was like 3,000 words and plagiarism. It has to follow this Harvard style standard, but it will pay off because as a BA, you have to write so many documentations and stuff. And the way of writing, your writing skills, everything will improve, especially the fact that in undergrad, I have never done these kind of things. And final project is like 10,000 words. So that is something you research and do. So that gives an opportunity for you to, dive into the market and, learn new things and stuff. So you will be keep up to date with what is happening in the market. So
Great. I think on to that, I will extend a question to Shruti. Shrishti, I think, Shrishti, a lot of students often ask us about how the undergrad program structure would look like, how the pedagogy is different, like, how practical is the program? Do you get certain exposure, things like that. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. To be very honest, the studies are completely opposite of what we study over here. These are like people are based on the books and the theoretical knowledge. But when you go to Westminster, it's completely opposite. Just like what Sharad said, that he had to just research about what Tesla is about and what things are about in that situation. So I have a module in money banking and financial systems, financial management. So there we had to research about how COVID has affected the rest of the world, what is the function of the World Bank, how things are regulating, how people are managing money, why is there an inflation and deflation. So there are many factors, and moreover, it's not about just researching about them, but to also implement what in real life they would create an impact on. And they give you an assessment on real life situation, that not only would they want the document worth 3,000 words or 5,000 words, what they want is that what would you do when you work in a real life situation, when you're working in a bank, for example, or where, for example, if I'm working at a certain place where I'm getting placement at. So what would you do in that situation is far more concerned than what would I learn from the theory. So that is how practical the things are in Westminster, and the teachers are really nice. If you fail to understand a certain point or specific requirement required by them, so they are good enough to like create a one-on-one session. They create a one-on-one session and they tell you that you're making a mistake over here. They have working hours. They call the office hours. So every week they have certain number of office hours where you can approach them anytime between that hours, and they are always available to you. And
that's very comforting Indian students.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Shruti mentioned about this, not only like your professional way. One of the things I experienced myself. So
great from retail
one
banking.
more thing that I'd like to like one more thing I'd like to like add on to that, because I'm like a course representative. So there are like 150 students I lead of my course. So entire international business, the entire course, I am the course representative. Things are that when people come to you and just like tell that grievances that I'm facing problems with this, so they feel that they have someone to talk to. So that's where the role of a course leader or a teacher starts. And each student is at least given like 5 to 6 students. So there are seminar tutors, there are module leaders, there are course leaders, and then there is a personal tutor as well given to you. So there are in and around 6 to 7 teachers given to each student, and that's not practically possible if you go in an Ivy League school or college in India. As far as I know, that nobody's going to give you a personal tutor, and the personal tutor only represents like 10 to 12 students, maximum 10 students, and there are 22,000 people in the university. So that's amazing.
Great. That's actually was a great discussion. Vicky, just one thing I wanted to ask you, like a lot of students who often ask us that, how, I mean, irrespective of the course, how many hours of teaching would be there on campus, and, how many days of teaching would be on campus? Do you want to bring something in general?
Yeah, I think in terms of days and hours, it really depends on the course that you're doing. So for example, for PG Business School, you might be looking at 2 to 3 days on campus during the week. I'm sure Sharath can add to that. And then the rest would be self-study time, so you'd be able to use the libraries. You do project work, so you might be in groups with the students and preparing that. The teaching at Westminster is it's very balanced between a mixture of exams and coursework and project work. So it's very, as we were saying, it's very practical based. So yes, we do, of course, we teach you the theory, but we expect to see you put that into practice as part of your course. So that might be with projects with your classmates. It might be industry-led projects or residentials where you would be with employer and industry specialists to practice what you've learned during your course.
Thank you, Vicky, for that. Sir, I think I got another question, which is more about, like, a lot of students ask us how easy and difficult is the journey from a student to getting those part-time jobs in London to actually making some money to kind of cover up their cost, to eventually looking at a graduate role, which is kind of what students looking at right now, especially with the current scenario when they have a graduate immigration route, which allows students to stay back for 2 years after they complete the program. Do you want to share something on that?
Absolutely. Literally, when you work in a hospitality sector, you have one of the cafes, so all the cafes next to you, like even like restaurants, everyone knows you, so you get food for free. So basically, so I go to Wasabi, I go to this Caribbean restaurant, I go to anywhere, like, the Nando's. So all these are next to us, so everybody knows you, and you give food for them, they give food for you. So basically, you're spending zero pound. Literally.
Yeah, it's sort of a community.
It's a community. So you build up actually £0 for your food. Just you pay for the transportation if you have to pay. That saves a lot of money. And then if you're part-time, you can work only 20 hours, isn't it? So rest of the hours, you can just you can study or you can do your coursework, anything. So absolutely.
Yeah. Also, I would like to add there that lots of Indian students feel that, if I'm going to get part-time jobs in a cafe, that's not going to help me end up in a graduate job in my required sector. So first, and right now he's as a business analyst.
Because
I can add something to this.
Yeah.
It's like that people are like they don't if they start working in these sectors and everything, they don't end up in getting the professional job and all of that. So I'd like to add is that I used to work in Costa. So it was the busiest station of London, which is at the Waterloo. If you are aware that I used now I'm shifted to a different place because that store is under renovation, but I used to work at Waterloo at Costa in front of house. I was barista under training, and that thing taught me socializing skills, communication skills, and to be able to just like accept the rejection, that not everybody is going to accept you at some point, because when in India things are like they are amalgamation of couple of things, like how they're stretched, like they can't say no in a straight face. People are like, no, we'll tell you someday, we'll tell you this, we'll tell you that. But when you're a part of this thing, any part-time jobs in London, so they are on the straight face because people don't like to like elongate or stretch things there. So you are capable enough to accept the rejection in your life, and that helps when you get rejected in your future career
Yeah.
apply for your professional life as well.
Yeah.
And coming to the part where you don't get a professional life, just before we started to chat, I'm just waiting for my results, and I got accepted at Marriott International. So it's not
Yeah,
something
I wanted
like,
to ask that only, Shrishti, that how was it from Barista Waterloo to Marriott International Mayfair? What do you talk about
Like,
that?
Mayfair is like the poshest street in one of the London, you know.
amazing.
So it's going to
So,
be a
so
1 year long internship for you, Shrishti?
Sorry?
So it's going to be a sandwich program for you. So you're going to be doing a 1 year internship there.
Yeah, 13 months.
Okay, wonderful. We wish you good luck for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's not something like you. So I belong from a very good family, and we are like quite popular in Gujarat because that's where we belong from. So when I just started my work, and then when I informed at my place, I was talking to my parents one day, and it just like came out of my mouth that I'm working at Costa and this is gonna happen, and they're like, you shouldn't be working there. Is there any problem? You need money? We're gonna send you. And like the very next thing, I'm going to send you the wired transaction that you don't have to work for like Costa or any other thing, because here working is like just sitting 10 hours 12 hours on a seat, or you just like can move from one place to other. But when you work at some cafe or a restaurant, you can't stand still for a second, even for a second. Even for a second.
You can't stay for 6 hours, but you won't even feel it, isn't it?
And I've never like washed my dishes, or I've never like mopped my house or nothing. But when you go to London, in Costa, sometimes I even have to wash dishes. If I'm doing a night shift, sometimes I even have to wash dishes, and I come home by 1 o'clock in the night, midnight, because my shift gets over at 11:30 in the night. And I have to like, so the thing is that we have to be practical, that you have to portray a role of a father by earning money, portray a role of mother by cooking by yourself, portray a role of a student by going and studying for yourself, and just like all together, and a role of a house help by cleaning your house and doing every possible thing in London.
Yeah, that's how a place like London makes you independent.
Yeah. It will mold you as a person,
If you're brought up in a bubble, if you're brought up in a family, and for example, because I'm a single child, I've never done anything in my life. And if you're born with a silver spoon and you've never done anything, and you've brought up in a bubble, it's gonna get difficult, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it.
Yeah,
I mean, life experience, isn't it? So, I mean, if I should say this, when I was leaving home, one of the customers, I mean, she used to come every day. She was a doctor, so she gave me this, one of the busiest time on Saturday. She came and said, people are so busy. She jumped into the queue and she said, "Oh, I heard you're leaving, so you have been, always nice to us. You're always smiling. You brighten up our day. Because I mean, when you get something like this, I was like." Okay, so I was changing some people's mood of the day, the change of something.
We got food from Pret, we got food from Wasabi, we got food from McDonald's, because that's how we exchange foods, and everybody becomes a community.
Yes,
like at the end of the day, yeah. So we got food from Wasabi and too many different places, because we also exchange food at some point at the day. So we got food from them as well. Yeah.
Great. That's what a lot of Indian students feel, that how we're going to feed ourselves there, managing everything.
I mean,
so you get confidence there.
It's so funny
because that's what you're paying when you get a pass, or when you get an oyster. You already are paying like 4 days a week. You go to the university, and the rest 2 days you are only going for like travel. So that's like bare minimum you have to pay for. Like,
Vicky, anything? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and then what I want to say is, I mean, if you see that Cafe Po, it's like one of the like sandwiches is like £5 or like £6 or something, and I was getting like freshest one. I was taking all the posh foods and stuff. So my one meal was like, when I put it in the till, it was like a 20-30 pounds. So it was like, so it was a good lifestyle, and I was getting so comfortable with it. Only if it paid the same money, I would have continued it. But
great piece of advice for them, that they need to start early. That's very, very important. Shrishti, over to you. I wanted to just hear about something about clubs, societies at Westminster, because we have a lot of questions around that, and you've been helping a lot of students with those questions too, and you are very well connected to the student council as well. So Give us an insight on that.
So, believe it or not, there are more than 50 societies that University of Westminster has, be it from people who are interested in baking. So there's a baking society. If people are interested in henna, like mehendi and stuff, so there's like a henna society. There's Indian society. There's Tamil society. There's Telugu society. South Asian society. There's K drama, like people who are interested in K-pop. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
So
I should admit that I watched some of the K dramas.
so there's that society, and there's like Messy Mondays, where every Monday you can go to the university. There's like the Harrow campus. You can go there and enjoy with your friends. It's like clubbing from 11 p.m. in the night till 4 a.m. in the morning. So that's a different society. And talking about the Indian society, which was a game changer for me. So I was usually like, how you go like events, when you enter the events, and you'll feel like, okay, this is gonna be like one of those events where you can just be like participate yourself and just come back. So that was my experience, and that was my imagination that, okay, I'll go, I'll see if things are happening, or is it happening or not. I'll come back. And then once I went there, the president and the vice president, they are now very close friends of mine. So we gelled up so well, and people start knowing you like Indians, because you feel that even they are here leaving their parents and coming here. Even you are, and you can vibe on the Bollywood music. And then after that, there was no looking back, because when you hear a Hindi music or a Bollywood music in a foreign land, there's no sort of comparison in your feelings. All your patriotism comes out of you that,
Get
oh,
it?
I love my India. So,
Um,
that's how. And then I would like love to show all the pictures that I would have. You can always check on my Facebook and Instagram. I always share like a glimpse of things that I do in London. So we went to the boat party, like starts from the London Bridge and comes. It's like a 3 hour long boat, which takes off from the London Bridge and comes back to the London Bridge. And there's like dole and everything, all the Punjabi. So making sense all in about that, it has place for every single student. If you are Bangladeshi or Pakistani, every community has a different society, and you can be a part of it. And K-pop, K-drama has like a huge influence over the world.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
and
the thing now.
they have this thing for them as well. And I am like, if I would given a chance, I would like, so there's like a hip hop dance society, also people who are interested in dance. So like every category has a society.
Great, thank
I
Yeah.
mean, this K drama is something. Even my sister, her Instagram name is like one of the actors, one of the guys in the K dramas. Like, how crazy is that?
I know. So they've built a society for them as
He
well,
is
and
so
they are like
obsessed with
bingos organized. So like people go and play bingos with the K drama theme and everything. So
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was such a, so that kind of brings us towards the end of the session. It was such a evening, which I kind of, I mean, I feel so, I so want to go back to the classes and be one of the classroom and enjoy the campus life, because it's, it's so much fun to hear from you both. Now that you have to,
Garima, one thing is it's never too late to learn. That's one thing. When I was something, maybe like if I could help someone in taking a decision. I mean, this is something, my story. So I'm 31 now. So when I was last year 30, I was thinking if I should really do my master's, because I'm already 30. My God, if I go there, get a job. How is studying with the students who are younger than you? Are the uncle in the class, you're the oldest one. And I was not surprised, because everybody were like 25, 24, and I was like 30. And I was like, I just tried to say everybody like, oh, I'm 29, just to balance that 20ness. But anyway, obviously I don't look like 20. So anyway, but my course, the studies, everything was so smooth. believe it or not, when I was in the podium for my graduation, I didn't know. I was awarded the best student in class in MSc Finance Banking. I was awarded a WBS prize for outstanding student. I was like, I was getting, when they announced my name with this one, I was getting goosebumps, So I was like, so, because when I look back 2 years ago, like I was questioning myself, is it worth it? Am I going to do it? What if I'm going to fail? But I graduated with Best Student Award, and which I never imagined. That was not even my, thing. So it is an experience, and I'm so glad I did it. And I'm so glad I did it with the University of Westminster. And teachers were like so amazing, so helpful. Yeah.
And
Thank you for
that I'd like to
I
join.
wanted to come to Shruti also for the last piece of advice for the students.
Yeah, the thing is that there are always goosebumps. When I was declared the course representative in front of like 150, 200 people, it was a huge moment. And I have my photo that is being posted on the website as well, University of Westminster. And one thing I really, really love about Westminster is that because I am fond of fashion. I love fashion. So the libraries are open 24/7, so you can go like anytime. So my campus is in central London, but the art campus is in Harrow, so you have to go to like Harrow, Wembley, like that's out of
That's
London.
far, a bit far.
I take time out of my week. I go to Harrow campus to read fashion books and everything about fashion. So there's no point where you lack resources, where Westminster lacks resources, and it's like 24/7. Even if you don't have like a place to just to sleep somewhere, library is always open for you, that you can always go and sleep in the library.
Yeah.
So there are those cubicles where you can always have a sound sleep with no disturbance.
So that was the idea, to know from you that how the student can eventually settle. And thank you for taking out time, both of you. Really, really appreciate that. And thank you for all the support you extend to the South Asia team and Westminster overall. And we wish you all the luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, stay in touch with us. Keep us updated on what's going on. And Drishti, I can't wait to hear about everything that's going on with you at Marriott International. I think that would be a fantastic placement. And Sharath, I'll keep following you on LinkedIn. I keep looking forward to your posts and updates.
Yeah.
And, hopefully see you both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.